everyone, welcome back to another video. Today is a full review and it's by Andy Tower. This is a new release. It's called Sundowner by Tower. Quite a cool looking bottle for this one. And so I've been wearing this and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it, I'll be honest. I'll try my best for the review. It opens up with some citrus notes that are slightly dirty on me. There's something just a little bit not, it's fresh but not quite fresh, and probably the way the other notes work with it, but it's just a little bit off, or a little bit like not fresh at the same time, if that makes sense. There's bergamot and orange peel in here, but it's mixed with a hint of a sweetness. There's tonka and vanilla in the note list, and I think that comes through even from the beginning, just a hint of that kind of sweetness. And there's an ambergris note. I think that definitely comes through quite well in this. It almost gives it a slightly watery kind of, I wouldn't say aquatic, but watery, musky kind of quality to it, and maybe even a little bit of a kind of a salty kind of vibe. At the same time, there's a weird juxtaposition because it has this watery quality and it's also kind of got a dryness to it. There's some mixes of spices and things like tobacco in here, and the quality of that, it kind of has a dry kind of quality, which is unusual because you're also getting this, like I say, watery kind of vibe at the same time. And so when I was wearing it, I wasn't quite sure if I liked it or not. I don't dislike it, but I don't think I love it either. Cinnamon and rose are listed on the note breakdown, and I don't get like punch in the face of cinnamon. It's like watered down, subtle, but you just get a hint of a spice that with a slight sweetness. The cacao note or the chocolatey kind of note I don't get on my skin at all. I don't get that kind of vibe personally. That doesn't come through on me. Sandalwood is another note listed on here, and I think that a little bit comes through more as it starts to dry down, and it kind of starts to merge with this kind of ambergris, musky, slightly smooth, woody kind of composition. Patchouli is listed. I don't get massive amounts of patchouli either, but I think just probably helping add a little bit of character in the base, but generally a musky, slightly sweet, slightly woody kind of dry down. There's something about it that is kind of ambery, although ambers like labdanum and benzoin are not listed, and it doesn't go full on kind of amber vibes, but just something about it. It may be even just be the way that the ambergris is playing out, but something a little bit amber-like rather than specifically ambergris. I just get kind of that slight kind of vibe from this. The tobacco note isn't huge on my skin, but I can smell it for sure. As you smell it, you get the tobacco vibe. It's smooth, but it's also kind of light, and I think that's probably adding some of this kind of, like I say, dryness that I feel like it has. But the tobacco note is almost a little bit like a cigarette packet kind of vibe, where you get the kind of the cardboard and the cellophane and the sweetness of that, and the tobacco from the cigarette wrapped in the paper. A little bit of that going on in here, with this kind of tonka, vanilla, musky, ambergris thing. The spices kind of, the cinnamon kind of tones away the spice kind of element. The citrus tones down after kind of half an hour. Fairly long lasting citrusy notes, but again, not all that fresh. Something a little bit slightly dirty, at least to my perception, with the citruses in the opening. Again, maybe just the way that they blend with the other notes. This one did remind me of another fragrance that I own called Solito Lindo by Rasse Fort. This one is more heavily based in actual amber, but there is also kind of a watery quality in this. This also has spices, and they share a few similar notes, but this one has this weird kind of watery, I think there was a tequila note in this, and it has that kind of weird watery kind of vibe going on, but a watery kind of amber with spice and things like that. And so when I smelled this one, I was kind of reminded of a kind of the same vibe. So if you have this, I think you will feel vibes of, they don't smell the same, but they're familiar, they're in the ballpark, they're in the same room, let's say. And I definitely get, like I say, vibes, and both have that kind of weird, kind of watery kind of quality coming through with this kind of spicy, ambery quality at the same time. So it does remind me of a fragrance that I already own, but I think I prefer that one because that one doesn't have these kind of slightly off, slightly bitter, funny smelling citrus notes in the top, which I'm not totally fond of in this particular one. This is one of the perfumes where I actually find it quite difficult to describe. Does remind me of a little bit of Tower's general kind of DNA, but at the same time being new. In terms of performance with this, it sat closer to the skin on me and lasted around 6 hours on my skin, 6 to 7 hours longevity with softer projection and sillage for me. It did sit a little bit closer. I would consider it unisex, and for me it's a colder autumn winter kind of fragrance. Altogether, I wasn't quite sure about this one. Maybe with more wearings and getting used to it more, it might kind of grow on me more. But for my time with it so far, it's not one that I would probably buy a bottle of personally. But if you like the sound of the notes, definitely give it a try and get yourself a sample. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have tried it, let me know your thoughts. I think it will get mixed reactions. I don't think everyone will love it, and I think some will and some won't, as with most perfumes, but there you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have a fantastic Christmas tomorrow, and I will see you soon with some more videos. Take care, everyone. Bye.